Have you ever thought, I communicate great everywhere else, so why does it feel so hard with the person I love the most? You handle difficult conversations at work, you manage teams and clients, deadlines and crises, but at home, a simple comment about the dishes can turn into tension, or silence, or days of emotional distance. And that moment, when you realize, wait, why does this feel heavier here? That's exactly what we're talking about today. This episode is part one of a two-part series called The Power Couple Paradox. And today we're unpacking why high-achieving couples struggle with communication even when they're deeply committed, emotionally intelligent, and genuinely want to work things out. The key today is to understand why this thing is happening, so you stop blaming yourself and your partner. We're going to get really clear on what are the challenges that are actually coming up and the mindset shifts we have to make in order to have a healthier, stronger relationship and start to improve our communication. So grab a warm drink and let's dive in. Welcome to Relationship Reset, Reignite, Reconnect, Rebuild, the podcast for high-achieving couples who want to transform their relationship from surviving to thriving. I'm Katie Russler, a relationship coach and counselor with over 15 years of experience helping busy, overwhelmed couples rebuild connection, trust, and intimacy. If you've been together for years and feel stuck on autopilot, disconnected and frustrated by constant miscommunication, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll explore practical tools, relatable stories, and strategies to help you reignite the spark, rebuild your bond, and create the relationship you've always dreamed of. Because no matter how long you've been together, it's never too late to hit reset. Let's dive in. I want to normalize something right away. Most of the couples I work with aren't struggling because they don't care. They're struggling because they care deeply. They're driven and they're exhausted. They've built lives that require a high level of performance. Their careers, their parenting, their finances, their logistics, their life decisions. And what I've seen, especially in these years after COVID, is this quiet trend. As life sped back up, relationships quietly fell behind. Not dramatically, not with a big explosion, but with little disconnects that started to stack up. Couples started to tell me we feel more like roommates. We're living parallel lives. We're great teammates, but something's missing. We only really feel connected on vacation, not in our everyday life. And when I ask, what do you talk about in your day-to-day? The answer is almost always logistics. And listen, as a mom of three, I get it. Logistics matter. But when logistics become the only language you speak, emotional connection slowly fades. And that's the paradox. You're successful everywhere else. And that very success is what's pulling you apart at home. High-achieving couples live in what I call performance mode. Performance mode is efficient. It's task-oriented. It's problem-solving focused. It sounds like, what's the plan? Did you take care of that? We need to figure this out. Let's just get it done. Performance mode is incredibly useful at work. But relationships don't thrive on performance alone. They need connection mode. And connection mode sounds more like, how are you really doing? I miss you. That felt hard for me. Can we talk about a challenge I've been facing lately? Here's the issue. Most couples don't consciously choose performance mode. They drift into it. Stress does that. Burnout does that. Busy seasons do that. And before you realize it, your entire relationship is operating like a project. Efficient, functional, emotionally flat. So let's talk about why you communicate better at work than at home. And this one surprises people. You might be thinking, why can I handle conflict at work but not with my partner? Here's why. At work, there are clear roles, there are boundaries, there's emotional distance, and there's less vulnerability. At home, the stakes are higher, old wounds get activated, you want to be seen, valued, and chosen. And rejection hurts more. So when a conversation goes sideways at home, your nervous system reacts faster and stronger. That's why couples say things like, I shut down, I get defensive, I just avoid it. It turns into something bigger. It's not that you're bad at communication, it's that intimacy amplifies everything. One of the most common phrases I hear is, it feels like we're living on two different train tracks. Same house, same goals, same direction, but not actually together. This can happen when you stop checking in emotionally, you assume instead of asking, you prioritize efficiency over connection, or you postpone conversations because they feel heavy. Over time, couples stop sharing their inner worlds. And when that happens, even small misunderstandings feel big because there's no emotional cushion anymore. Here's a big reframe I want you to sit with. Project mode is not partnership. Running a household, raising kids, managing life, that is a project. but your relationship is not. When couples blend these two together, problems show up, like power struggles, issues with how someone says something, feeling talked down to, feeling managed instead of partnered. And I hear things like, he talks to me like he's the boss. I feel like the subordinate. It turns into a hierarchy instead of a relationship. That's what happens when leadership language replaces relational language. Many high-achieving couples avoid emotional conversations, not because they don't care, but because they're already emotionally drained. They fear it'll turn into conflict. They don't want days of tension afterwards, or they don't know how to start without it spiraling. So they default to logistics. But the cost of avoiding emotional conversations is emotional distance. And that distance often shows up as irritability, criticism, withdrawal, feeling unseen or unappreciated, which then reinforces the belief talking doesn't help. Now let's address the loneliness that no one talks about. This is the quiet part. Couples tell me we sit on the couch together and I still feel alone. That kind of loneliness hurts deeply because it's not about being alone, it's about being unmet. And it doesn't mean your relationship is broken, it means connection has been deprioritized. Communication has become transactional. The relationship hasn't been tended to intentionally. And this is incredibly common, especially in long-term, high-functioning relationships. And I want to be clear about something. If you're experiencing this, you didn't fail, your partner didn't fail, and your relationship isn't doomed. What's happening makes sense. You adapt to survive busy seasons. You leaned into what worked. You optimized, but relationships don't automatically upgrade themselves. They need awareness first. In part 2 of this series, we're going to talk about how to separate logistics from emotional connection, the 2 types of conversations every couple needs, how to rebuild connection without overwhelming yourselves, and how to stop feeling like coworkers and start feeling like partners again. So make sure to look out for that episode. But for now, let's work on just simply understanding and noticing. I want you to sit with just one question this week. Where have we been operating in performance mode instead of connection mode? I'll say it again. Where have we been operating in performance mode instead of connection mode? Don't go trying to fix it yet. Don't try to problem solve. Just become aware. Because awareness is what makes change possible. Once you think about your answer, ask your partner. Give them some time, hear their answer, and come together and just have a discussion about it. This is the starting off point. And again, part 2, we're going to dive into what to do about it. If this episode felt a little uncomfortably accurate, believe me, you're not alone. This is the lived experience of so many high-achieving couples who love each other deeply, but haven't been taught how to protect connection under pressure. In part 2, I'm going to walk you through how to change this without adding more to your plate. And if you guys would like personalized support, you can book a relationship game plan call. It's a space to unpack what's happening in your relationship and what would help most right now. You don't need to work harder on your relationship. You just need to work differently. Okay, guys, I'll see you in part 2. Thanks for tuning in to Relationship Reset. If you found this episode helpful, share it with a friend who might need it too. Don't forget to rate and review the podcast. It helps more couples discover these tools to rebuild their connection too. And be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. It's gonna be a good one. Your relationship is worth the work, and the rewards, totally worth the effort. See you next week.